Hello, and welcome to the upside down world of Stranger Things, Season 4. This will be the spoiler-free section, so I hope you're ready for things to get a little strange.
How do you do, G-Pod crew? It's your naughty buddy Putty here, and today we are reviewing Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1. Now keep in mind, this is going to be the spoiler-free section of the review. We'll go into a full breakdown, then my final thoughts. And, to make sure you're not aware, I'm actually recording the spoiler-free part around 6:28 p.m., and I started this whole thing at 6 o'clock this morning. No joke. I started my full breakdown at 6 o'clock this morning, watched every single episode as I was going along. I was getting any Easter eggs, posting them, recording them, and then I did my final thoughts, and now I'm doing the spoiler-free review. There's literally 35 minutes of just Easter eggs throughout this whole thing, special things I've added, and just some cool key moments I think you'll love that you may have missed, that a lot of people probably missed, that are going to spook you. And one of them has to do with my phone. No joke. But as far as the episodes, I thoroughly enjoyed them. We do have 2 more episodes coming that are coming out in July, so this is like a second part. And I did make some predictions prior that did come true, and some predictions during the episode that came true, and then some things that didn't. Again, you can't be right about everything, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you will. I don't have a scoring system because I want to wait till the new season comes out before I give it a big scoring system. So this is going to be majorly a full breakdown, but I did thoroughly enjoy it. It is Stranger Things. It is what you predictably like about Stranger Things. It has that vibe. It will always have that vibe. And a lot of 80s references. Which you know me, I'm from the 80s, so it works out. So before we get into the full breakdown, because that's basically, I just wanted to go through that, tell you guys to watch it, come back and watch the spoiler section, the full breakdown that I'm about to go into. But before we do that, I do also want to advise you that my friend, RLG, created a Stranger Things trivia map. It is an interactive map where you can actually go and answer questions and actually go around different levels of Stranger Things, including new locations you might not have seen, like the Rainbow Room, other locations like Mike and Will's house, things of that nature. Also keep in mind that this thing is loaded with questions, 55 in total. So it's going to be a fun adventure, but there's also secrets, so on and so forth. And heck, even in this full breakdown, I give you a hint to one of them. But with that being said, make sure you go check out the level. Again, level code was at the bottom of the screen. You can also, if you want to, stream or post your videos with hashtag ST22 and show us how much you know about Stranger Things. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the full breakdown. I'm ready. I know you're ready. I am exhausted, and I hope you enjoy the work that was put into this and enjoy the fun. Okay, now that I've spoken about the episode, we're going to go into full spoiler territory. So the way this is going to work is between each episode, I'm going to do a full breakdown of the spoilers, little hints, Easter eggs, things of that nature that I'm going to point out to you throughout the episode. Understand, this is going to be on an episode-to-episode basis, so we're going to start with episode 1, or actually chapter 1, the Hellfire Club, and go all the way to chapter 7. So this is going to be a big review and a big full breakdown, even if there's a little breakdown here or there. And this is going to happen as I'm watching them. So actually right now, that review was done after I watched everything. I am just starting from scratch on Stranger Things right now, and I can't wait. So with that being said, let's get started. So for our first Easter egg, I probably shouldn't be talking about this since there's a lot of kid viewers watching, but Jonathan's a plant grower now, or connoisseur, I should say. He's basically enjoying a plant. What plant would that be? Well, we all know what plant that is. And Jonathan, I love you even more, brother. keep enjoying that plant. It's not really an Easter egg, as more of it's an Easter plant. A full plant. Oh, Jonathan, you started off this chapter nicely for me. Okay, so we actually have a good Easter egg, and I wish they didn't show that screen so you could actually see what I'm talking about on the screen. So, in the first episode, we see that Mike is wearing a shirt for the Hellfire Club. This is actually a D&D club that they start in the series, and I know this because of the trailer. So, the big thing about this is there's two things to the Hellfire Club in real life that's a reference to. Is an English club or a UK club, a Britain club that has to do with it, and then there is the X-Men Hellfire Club, which is also basically the same group with the Marauders from UK. I'm pretty sure this is not what they're referencing when it comes to the Hellfire Club here, but I felt it was a nice little reference for those that are geeks, and I'm sure that's another reason why they're doing it this way. So there you go, Hellfire Club in Stranger Things Season 4. Okay, so now in this scene we see that Robin is talking with Mike, and of course we found out from Season 3 that Robin is a lesbian, and he's referring to a girl named Vicky, stating that, she's not sure if Vicky's actually a lesbian as well, and Mike says no one pauses at 53 minutes and 10 seconds of Fast Times at Ridgemont High unless they like boobies, is basically what he says. What they're referring to is probably one of the most classic scenes. I can't actually show you the scene, and I was going to look up the scene, but then I figured that's going to show it. So I'm going to show it in my own way, because luckily Peacock has the scene with Phoebe Cates. It is actually a scene with, I can't remember the name of the character or the actor's name, but he's basically romanticizing and thinking about Phoebe Cates' character, which, by the way, Phoebe Cates, beautiful back in the day. I mean, she's probably still beautiful now. I haven't looked her up, but oh my God. And, well, as you can see where her hand is, what's about to happen? But then I said, I'm such a bad person, because I looked it up at 53:10 seconds thinking, wait, it's past the scene. It's 53 minutes and 10 seconds is down here, when the scene is actually at 52:22. If I literally play right now, it's going to go into the scene they're talking about. And he's right. This scene, I'll admit, I've replayed this scene over and over again. Probably will still replay this scene over and over again. It's just hilarious, and at the same time, great scene. But anyway, this is the reference that they're referring to, and I'm not going to put out more out there. You can figure it out yourself. Mike said it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Never tell me the odds. I love that line is said by Dustin. If you're not familiar with why that's such a great line, is in the original Star Wars A New Hope, we're back at Star Wars, there's actually a part where C-3PO says to Solo the odds of them living when it came to the Death Star, and he goes, never tell me the odds. That's what Han Solo said to C-3PO. And now Dustin is saying it to the Dungeon Master of the Hellfire Club. Never tell me the odds. Ladies and gentlemen, after what we just saw in Chapter 1 at the end, this season of Stranger Things is definitely trying to go for way more creature, darker tone, and I have a feeling I'm already predicting something. I'm predicting, based on this, I'm sure my review, I definitely wouldn't be giving my review because it's spoiler free, but I think Vecna is the monster we saw in the last episode, especially since Chapter 2 is called Vecna's Curse. And I think I found a plot device I never noticed before. Whenever they play D&D in Hawkins, it happens in real life. So it's just playing on the whole, if you play D&D, you work for Satan. Damn, they were right. And Stranger Things is here to prove that, right? But again, I could be wrong. With that being said, let's go into spoilers for Chapter 2.
VECNA'S curse.
Can I just say it? Argyle rocks. He is now my favorite character of the new season and could possibly tie with Dustin. just everything about him. And I know it's just, he said, I got me stressed out. It's not even my girlfriend, but just the way he acts. He's like a really true friend. But he's the, God, I love Argyle. Argyle, number one, new favorite character. Big fan of Argyle. Thank God Jonathan made a friend in Argyle. Argyle, you rock. There it is. There it is. There it is. I was okay. So here's the thing. I'm so far the second chapter, second episode hasn't really had any Easter eggs. So when they start going through movies, I was like, there's got to be a movie that Reefer Rick would want to watch that was from the 70s or 80s, and you already heard me brag about how I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but then right there, Cheech and Chong's next movie, I literally paused it before they even said anything. I guarantee you this is the Rick. Rick Lipton is the Rick. Cheech and Chong's next movie. That is Reefer Rick's movie. I guarantee it. Reefer Rick. Let's just see right now. I'll actually run it. They said like they had nice dreams and Up in Smoke in there. That's hilarious. This is definitely the Rick. They even said Chuckles Bingo. See? This is definitely the Rick. Well, they just name dropped Michael Myers with the white mask. Who is that? Well, that is from the Halloween films. Michael Myers is a very, very famous horror monster character with a Halloween mask. They call him Michael Myers. He's scary. Not really, but he is iconic as a horror movie character. Say nonetheless. So, boom! Easter eggs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into Chapter 3. Now, VECNA'S curse that just happened was pretty insane. And now we know that, again, it is a connection, I think, to D&D. The Demogorgon was made and first revealed in the first Chapter 1, and now we got Vecna. And so that makes me think that Vecna is, this creature that they've created because of the D&D game. Who knows? But with that being said, we are going to move on to Chapter 3, The Monster and the Superhero. Note, Fortnite. We got a Demogorgon skin. We need a
Vecna skin.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? I think it would. Let's get started. Well, look who's made his return. Paul Reiser as Dr. Owens is back. But why? Why is he back? And what does he have to do with 11? Episode 3 is going to be intriguing. Wow. Who'd have thunk the EWOKS would be on their TV? This is the EWOKS anime series I used to play with in the 80s. I actually remember this cartoon, and it was a reason that I actually looked more into Star Wars at a young age, even though I don't really remember much of the EWOKS, because once I got my hands on Star Wars, EWOKS was kind of, the second thing. But I still remember the anime series. I did love it. And it's nice, especially with a certain review that I've dropped, to see some EWOKS involved. So, even over here on Netflix, you can't dodge the Star Wars. Oh boy. Well, it looks as though Chapter 3 didn't leave too much of Easter eggs, but at least one of them was pretty geek-wise as far as the Star Wars EWOKS. But now as we go into Chapter 4, I fear for another person now. Oh dear Billy, your sister is in trouble. You need to help her. Chapter 4, Dear Billy. And if he says your name, don't answer it. Do you understand? I was so afraid. That Chapter 4, Dear Billy, would not hold any kind of Easter eggs. Then one is staring me at the face. Well, kinda. The guy you see here that's not staring at me because his eyes are sewn shut. Ladies and gentlemen, do you not realize who this is? And when I realized who it was, I was like, no way. But ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the nightmare guy himself. The one that you do not want to fall asleep and deal with. Not really the character, but the actor that betrayed him, that brought him to life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Robert Englund. otherwise known as
Freddy Krueger.
He was perfect for this role. Though I may not have gotten much Easter eggs from this episode, the sight of this name on the screen really did bring some extra special in this episode. But now we are at Chapter 5, The Nina Project. What is the Nina Project? I have no idea. But things are getting crazy. And the Easter eggs may be slim, but the story is getting deeper and deeper. This is Chapter 5, The Nina Project.
Who will we find in this part of the story?
Let's watch. Can we say name drop again for Robert Englund? Like Freddy Krueger's boiler room. Everything is tying into the Freddy Krueger thing. Nightmares, check. But they're waking nightmares instead of sleeping nightmares. Check. Freddy Krueger's boiler room. Check. The guy that they met in the insane asylum. Robert Englund. Who plays who? Freddy Krueger. Everything is connecting to Freddy Krueger, and
I'm loving it.
Agent Orange. So for those unaware, during the Vietnam War, they would mix up a chemical that a lot of Vietnamese suffered from these poisonings, kind of like a chemical warfare kind of thing, called Agent Orange. They use some kind of dioxide. All I know is it's horrible. And here he's talking about mixing it up and actually making Agent Orange and being in the war. And what makes it really funny is because this also goes back to the idea of MK Ultra and all that stuff that is compared to what, 11 is going through, or what the programs that she's going through in Stranger Things. These are all war propaganda. Well, not some of it's not propaganda, but it's part of the war, the propaganda, the whole thing about how people just do everything they can to torture others just so they can secure some kind of power. And that's what we see a lot in Stranger Things. Power over creatures as well. It's so great how Stranger Things takes what's realistic and fantasy and finds nice ways to mix them. Though I will say the split story is a little bit crazy. But anyway, that being said, let's continue. This might be the biggest Easter egg I find. So on the screen, well, first off, they're calling the phone number from the pen that they found from the agent. On the screen it says 202-968-6161. But then they said 202-564-9087. That's two different numbers that are not fake 555 numbers. Are you all ready to go on an adventure with me and call these numbers in this spoiler-free full breakdown review? I will put it on speakerphone, guys. We're going to do first the one in the closed captions. Then we will do the one that they said. All right? So let's do this now, guys. Give me one moment while I type it out. All right, here we go. Is that Morse code? What the hell? There's typing. Well, if this ain't creepy. And we still have another phone number to call, guys. Okay, I think it just repeats it. If we're typing again, then it just repeats it. There's that typing. So it just keeps repeating. All right, let's try the other number, the one they actually say. Let's do it. Oh, ain't this exciting, guys? Don't you love it when we find secrets? So the other number's gonna be in the thing. So if you want to call the numbers, you have the number on the screen you can see, and then I will have the other number in the chapters. So if you're wondering why you don't know the other number, it's because you got to look in the chapters, and this is a good reason why to make these chapters. Oh, I love doing little things like this. All right, let's do it. It just disconnected. I didn't get that. Hold on.
You have reached an unassigned number at the Environmental Protection Agency headquarters. Please check your number and dial again.
And then it just disconnects. Let's do that one more time, guys. These are both in Washington, D.C., by the way, guys.
You have reached an unassigned number at the Environmental Protection Agency headquarters. Please check your number and dial again.
Environmental Protection Agency headquarters. And then the other one just had all the beeping. Oh, man, this is one heck of an Easter egg. So call this number here if you want to get the beeping. If you want to hear the other one, the number's going to be in the chapters. You can actually see the number in the chapters. It is a 202 number, so these are all both Washington, D.C. numbers, guys. So, wow. One heck of an Easter egg right there, ladies and gentlemen. One heck of an Easter egg. Yes. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, War Games. So this is a Matthew Broderick movie where he actually thinks he's playing a computer game where he actually hacked into government computers and is actually doing a real war scenario. So those sounds that we actually heard too, they're hearing it too, which is funny. Here's the thing. The phone number they called, they got those tones. That was the number on the screen. The number that they typed out gives you something, the environmental agency thing. So there's a conspiracy here, and now War Games is involved. Stranger Things, best Easter egg ever. Damn, that last chapter was insane. Let's see here. We got Freddy Krueger's boiler room mentioned. We had Agent Orange. We had War Games. And in that War Games, we had a phone number. How can you top Chapter 5 by going into Chapter 6, The Dive? I don't know. Maybe you need to make a phone call.
202-564-9087. Are you crazy enough to make the call?
Chapter 6, The Dive. What is Mordor, Mike? Don't worry. I'm here to help. That's why I make these videos. Mike, Mordor is part of Lord of the Rings. So is the Shire. The Shire is where the hobbits live. Mordor is where the bad guy is to drop the ring. The ring that rules all. The Lord of the... Well, not the Lord of the Rings. The ring. Anyway, my point is, it's part of the Lord of the Rings book, Mike. Read your books. I was forced to read those in school. Or at least picked to read those in school. And then they made movies that became big. Not as Star Wars big in my eyes, but pretty big. So, that's what Mordor is, Mike. And the Shire is where the hobbits live. Don't worry. Give yourself about 86, 96, 2006. About 20 more years, and you'll know what Mordor is. Okay, so this is giving the one for the adults to understand this, but the Watergate, what he's making a joke about, Dustin is right here, is there was a scandal back in the days when Richard Nixon was president. If you don't know who Richard Nixon is, I can understand it. But there was a political scandal that they called the Watergate scandal, where there was like money being moved around, like just some really shady things happening with Nixon's terms, to where he ended up having to leave office because of votes to kick him out of office. And that was the Watergate scandal. And Yeah, I guess this is kind of like Watergate. Okay, not exactly like Watergate, but it's called Watergate. Kind of. Well, damn. We finally reached the final chapter. Chapter 7, The Massacre at Hawkins' Lab. And they found the gate to the Upside Down. What awaits, we don't know, but I will say this. We have 2 parts that will not be coming out until July. So this won't be the end. But this will be the last part of my full breakdown. So let's enjoy the last part, shall we? And one more thing.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's been a joy entertaining you. After this will be my final thoughts. Maybe you don't want to get in this noggin, this brain. I can tend to be a little bit insane. But enjoy the last part of the breakdown.
Enjoy. Now, in the first season, when we see her do this can crushing technique, it's a Coke can. This is a red can. It doesn't say Coke on it. I'm guessing they didn't get a sponsorship, so they had to turn the soda around to not show the Coke. But it was a Coke can. Don't believe me? Well, remember that level I told you to play? The RLG level? That's it. That's an answer right there for you. This is not true. Hi, Putty here, doing Easter eggs, of course, and you'll see that he's talking about a urban legend that went around everywhere. And I remember even when I was a kid, this being said, that Ozzy Osbourne bit a bat's head off on stage during one of his concerts with Black Sabbath. Actually, he might have done it, but he was just doing this Ozzy. But anyway, either way, he was performing on stage. This is not true. He has stated, no, there's no video. There's nobody. The people that say it are the people that weren't there for anything like that. It was just something that happened as an urban legend. Ozzy Osbourne stated he's never done that. He said, heck, I wish I did. That would be epic. But no, he never did. So I do like this reference to it, though. But Eddie's wrong. It never happened. But I will say back in the 80s, yeah, we did think it did happen because everyone thought it happened. Which it didn't. Sadly. But hey, it's an Easter egg now. Yes, please be kind, rewind. I like this slogan said here. And if you're not an 80s kid, or even maybe a 90s kid, you would not understand what that means. I'll explain it. Whenever you would rent a movie at Blockbuster Video or any video store, this is before DVDs or, anything like that existed, streaming media like we see on Netflix, you would have to rent a video, take it back home. But before you would actually bring it back to the video store, they would ask you if you could please be kind and rewind the videotape. The reason they do that is because they have rewinders, things they can use, but the problem is when they're busy, they tend to not have to restock the shelves without rewinding a movie. And you don't understand the woes of you putting a movie in and it's right at the end of the movie and you get spoiled by the end of the movie not knowing that the movie was not rewind. That's why they say, please be kind, rewind. So that way you see the beginning of the movie. So imagine watching Stranger Things and all of a sudden you're popping in the videotape and you're right at this section we're watching right now. How mad would you be if you don't realize it and you're literally watching the ending to the movie? That's why they always said, please be kind. Rewind. Well, Nancy regrets Barb's death. We always knew this. And now we have Barbara. First season. Honestly, why are you even watching this season if you didn't watch the first season? But a lot of people might have forgotten about Barb. But then the people that really wanted Barb back, they kind of got her back now. Okay, that was horrible. I'm sorry. We got to move on. And there you guys have it. That is part 1 of Stranger Things Season 4. July, we will get 2 last episodes, 8 and 9, which are going to sum up everything that we just saw in this episode. Now, I actually had a feeling that that was one, and actually me and my friends theorized, and we thought some of my theory came true about her opening up the gate or making the gate or however you want to look at it. I don't know if she necessarily made the gate or just opened it up. I mean, she's so powerful, maybe she did make the gate, like made that world, but I don't think she did. I think the Mind Flayer and all that existed, she just opened up the gateway, and that was the reason why he became who he is, because basically she turned him into that, which kind of sucks, because that means she's the one that made him to become what. Oh, that's messed up. It's so messed up. But anyway, there's a lot of good Easter eggs. I'll be honest with you. I actually started this at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it is now 6:19. That I'm just doing the outro part of my review, my final thoughts. I still need to talk about my final spoiler-free review. So if you're watching this part and you wondered how that went, it basically went. I watched each episode, did my breakdown, or did my Easter eggs of each episode, final thoughts. And now I'm going to do my review of how I think without any spoilers. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It's much different. It opens up doors to other things and theories of like how big and connected 11 is in this whole world. And honestly, where they're going to go from here, because apparently they did sign up for another season. So I have no idea, but I am excited. So I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you guys go ahead and, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode.
How many times did you hear me? How many times did I appear vocally? Buddy, I will return in July. See you soon.